Hello, everybody. This is Julissa. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's watching this video right now on YouTube. Today is Saturday, May 3rd, 2025. You guys, I gotta come here and do another episode regarding the supposedly, right? I am saying supposedly is because there's no confirmation yet from authorities, and I'm referring to the New England serial killer, okay? Before I continue, thank you so much to everybody who follows me on Spotify, and thank you so much to everybody who's listening to the podcast right now using Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for being here. So today is Saturday, May the 3rd, like I said. Right now, they have found 12 bodies already, and this is connecting the state of, I believe it's Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. 12 bodies already. And, you know, it's just, they don't want like people like on social media to bring fear to anybody, right? That's the last thing that I'm trying to do here. But how many more do we need to connect somehow to kind of say, you know what, let's put out some type of sketch out there. Let's put out a vehicle description, some license plates, so that people are aware. I told you in my previous video that these are the times right now that we all waited for. We had a very rough winter here in New England. You guys know I'm based in Connecticut, and it has been a very rough winter. Finally, it's May. The weather is nice. It's been very warm, beautiful. So these are the times that people go on their walks, their runs, and things like this. And everything that is happening with all these bodies coming out, being found, of people missing that have been missing for 6 months now, their bodies are being found in the river. Why not put out some type of awareness, right? And I understand that murders and crimes happen all the time. I get that, right? It's just the world that we live in, right? Really, there's really no safe neighborhood, right? Anything can happen anywhere, right? So I just wish, though, that there will be more answers to the public because, the other day I came here and told you about missing young man from I think it was Baldwin, New York. His name is Petros Kromindas. He has not been seen like for a week and a half already. And, still this happened in New York, right? So here we are, another person that has just gone missing, even though, there's no trace of anything that was happening. If anything, he had a lot to look forward to. Nothing has been found. They also found his belongings like cell phone and towels and things like this. And I said they also found that is because I'm gonna start about this whole theory about the New England serial killer. I'm gonna speak about Paige Fannon, and I believe she's the first person who was found deceased regarding this whole theory that is going around about some type of New England serial killer. Because I'm saying that because just earlier today, actually, I was in Wilton. I was able to go by where Paige belongings were found, right? And I'm gonna tell you because I learned about her being missing because I go to Wilton a lot. It's kind of like the next town over where I am. I'm located in Richfield, so Wilton, I kind of go there a lot. And I know specifically the area where Paige Fannon belongings were found. And I remember about hearing somebody being missing and that she was last seen in that area. And I was like, oh, in Wilton, Wilton is very safe, It's beautiful. There's so many things to do, to be honest. There's always like an activity to do. And specifically in that area where she was found, where her belongings were found, is an area where, as you can see, I think I'm going to put a video. I was able to record a little bit. It's an area that is kind of like, it's centered in the middle of a it's like in the middle of a plaza that has a big supermarket, restaurants, a lot of restaurants, Starbucks is in the area too. There's a trail, two trails, and there's always people like walking, exercising. And then there in that area, there's also like picnic tables, and on the other side of that is like a big medical office, right? So it's a very active area, specifically during the week. Because if you tell me, her belongings were found like early on a Sunday morning, like I can understand maybe nobody saw anything, but she was last seen in that area like on a Wednesday, right? So I don't understand how come there's have they were they able to like interview people, right? They're saying that she was last seen in that area. That is, to me, you know, I'm sure there's cameras, right? There's office buildings, there's people, like I said, there's always somebody in that trail. And behind, on the other side of that, is a medical office, right? And the picnic tables, I'm sure the people from the medical office go and use it, right? So I wonder if anybody has like more information about her disappearance. Like, oh yeah, I saw her talking to this guy and she got into somebody's car, or I saw them arguing. Any information will be so helpful. And I just, it's very unfortunate. We don't want to jump to the conclusion like, yeah, there is a serial killer out there. But because, right, not enough details are being released regarding her disappearance, right? With all the respect to the family, right? Because I know sometimes it could be a decision taken by the family not to release information about her autopsy report and things like this. But because no information is being released regarding her, which is the first one that was found back in early March, I believe, it leads to speculation, and we don't want to be doing that. We want the correct information, right? So let me tell you, she went missing. They're saying here, this was published by the Wilton, Connecticut Patch. It says, have you seen her? Wilton police are searching for a missing woman. Police are seeking the public assistance in their search for a missing person. Paige Fannon, 35 years old, from West Islip, New York, last seen in Wilton in the area Schneck Island on Wednesday, March 5th around noon. She was reported as a missing person in New York on March 4th. So let me just tell you about that, okay? She was reported missing on the 4th, right? But who reported her? Who said to the police? Who said, "Oh, that woman that's missing from New York, I saw her in Wilton." Like, she was seen the day after she was reported missing. That to me is like, who gave that tip, right? Who was the one who said that, right? Because let me tell you, to be honest, unless there is like some type of Amber Alert, when somebody's reported missing from New York or anywhere, right? For there to be some type of awareness for the public to be like, oh, I recognize that lady that was reported missing from New York. It could take a couple of days for her image to get out to the news, and for people to be like, oh wow, let's keep an eye on in Connecticut or something. Like, why? What's the connection with Wilton? What's the connection with Connecticut, right? And she was seen on March 5th already, the day after she was reported missing. To me, that's very quick. And for her to be already has been spotted the day after in an area that is not where she was missing from, is very telling. And I think we need to know who reported her, who said, I see that lady that has been missing from New York. I saw her in Schneck Island in Wilton, Connecticut. I know 100% it was her. Because then her belongings were found right there, right? Her belongings were found in that area that I'm going to, as I do this podcast, I'm going to be showing photos of what I was able to capture from that area. In that area, as you can see from the videos that I took, there's like a little riverbank. I believe it's the Norwalk River. Because her body was found just up the stream, basically in the next town over from Wilton, which is Norwalk, right? And it's like, really nobody saw anything like that to me. It's just crazy. Did she encounter anybody in Wilton? Because I mean, was she asking for something? Who brought her to Wilton? Did she drive herself there? Why has that information has not been released? And please excuse me, if that information was released and I'm not aware of that, please leave it in the comments. I think it I don't understand what the secrecy is, right? I know that sometimes they don't like to release information because they don't want to bring fear to anybody, right? But how many people are going to be showing up? There's 2 bodies, 3 bodies that were found in New Haven. How many bodies are we waiting for this to be kind of like, we have a serious problem here, right? And now, like I said, I really hope that Petrus is found safe. But I don't, just to know that he's also missing from New York, it's like, what? A lot of the times there's not like what is also telling about this whole scenario is that it's adults that are missing. Fully healthy, capable adults with cell phones, right? Who know how to take care of themselves are being found randomly. Yes, it might have been a couple of them that were missing for 6 months or something that their body has been found. But like what happened in between that time? Right? I think the latest person that was found yesterday, the body was a 72-year-old who has been missing since December or something. What is the investigation between that time and now that her body was found? What is going on? How come this information is not being released? And it's like it's in this area of New England, right? Like I said, I believe it's New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and it's like, oh, we're not releasing details, we're not doing this. We need more information. So I wonder what's the situation is with Paige, right? And I understand, like I said, because her body was found, maybe there's a some type of privacy coming from the family. They don't want to release more details, but just to kind of help somebody out there. Because right now, if I'm speaking to you guys and doing this recording. Right now, really, it's almost like, oh, she was missing. Last seen around Wilton. Her belongings were found in Schneck Island. Then her body was found like a couple miles up the road in Norwalk. And that's all we're going to talk about. That's all we're going to say right now. And that's it. Who brought her to Wilton? Did she take the train? I know the train station is kind of close by, but like I said, for somebody to say, oh yeah, I saw her specifically. I mean, she was reported missing the day before, and somebody already knew exactly who she was like the day after in another state. So it says here that Norwalk police found Fannon's body near the area of Main Avenue and Gristmill Road while assisting Wilton police in searching for a missing person. Officers with the Norwalk Police Department scuba team and fire personnel recovered her body. Wilton police contacted Norwalk officers around 12:50 p.m. on Thursday, requesting the use of department UAV and unmanned aerial vehicle, also known as a drone, to help find a missing person. Norwalk police responded to Schneck Island off Richfield Road and learned of clothing and personal items that had been left near the bank of the Norwalk River. Officers believe the individual has gone to the Norwalk River and crews began their search. Okay, so this speculation is almost like they're kind of like saying that she might have been found by drowning, right? Because they believe her clothing was found, so she was probably out for a swim. But still, like, well, that's what I was able to kind of get from that. But I'll show you some of the the footage that I took of that river, that you can see the Norwalk River or Shinek Island, I believe that's how you pronounce that place. I just, all these things that are happening, and let me just tell you another more information about this theory of the New England serial killer, right? New England serial killer fears stalked by 12 bodies found in 3 months and 2 in the same small town. Authorities in New England found a body behind a school in Massachusetts also included, and are suspecting foul play, adding to the number of people found in the region since February. Bristol County District Attorney officer said Stephen Myers, 39, was found behind Bristol Plymouth High School in Taunton, Massachusetts, at a construction site early on Wednesday morning. Officials said he was found with a gunshot wound and found deceased. Okay, so Myers is the 12th body to have been found since February in New England area, fueling fears online that there could be a serial killer in the area. On March 25th, a separate body was found in Taunton. The individual was identified as Samuel Stovall, 51, and authorities say his death had been deemed suspicious. New England law enforcement officials have so far denied this death are connected with a serial killer. In early March, detectives found the body of Paige Fannon, 35, in the Norwalk River in Norwalk, Connecticut. On March 6, a human skull was found in the Bury area of Route 3 in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Authorities have not released any further details. There's such a secrecy here. I mean, all these things happening, it's like we suspect some type of foul play. We're not going to release information about that. Who's leading this investigation, right? Is that what it is? Like they're looking to do more investigation so they can actually come up with like some type of conclusion here, what's happening. And like there's no cameras, like there's really no cameras. Like I'm sure the train station has camera. How did Paige get to Wilton? Did she meet somebody there, right? Did she drive herself to Wilton, right? And let me just tell you, Shinek Island, I have walked around that facing like the street side. That pathway there is beautiful, okay? Shinek Island, like you can see in the video that I'm gonna show, is very peaceful. You know, surrounded by the riverbank and surrounded by a lot of greenery. It's very kind of like it's within the town, but it's kind of like isolated a little bit. But I'm not saying that it's not busy, right? What I mean is like it's like a nice open area for a walk, you know, to take photos, to have lunch, a picnic, right? I think it's very accessible to a lot of people. The people that work in Wilton, in that area specifically, the people that live nearby, there's a lot of condos around that area, right? And people use that area of Wilton as their kind of like their gym, right? A lot of people use that to exercise. Also, a lot of people jogging. You know, the mailman. You see a lot of things happening around that area. People jogging, walking their dogs. A lot of people fishing right there in the Norwalk River. I saw two fishers, right? Two fishermen. I meant to say, they were just there, you know, fishing. And I went there like maybe early in the morning. Today is Saturday though, and I'm sure during the week because I had tried to go there at 9 too. And by 6 p.m., it's busy also. Like, it's a lot of people, you know, coming from work and going for a walk type of thing. So, there's really no surveillance video. Who did she talk to around there? Who was the person that said, yeah, she was right here? Or they just going by the items that they found, right? But like I said, it's very odd for nobody to be like, oh, yeah, I remember seeing her because that area is busy. There's no cameras that saw her around walking around the area. There's a lot of businesses there too. So while online conversations around these accidents continue to grow, we urge the public to be mindful of the role that social media, can play in spreading fear or misinformation. Unverified claims can compromise active investigation and contribute to a sense of chaos that does not reflect the full picture, and we understand that 100%. But I think the first body, I guess you can say, was found in March. It's already May 3rd, like about, she was found almost a month, 2 months ago. Like, come on, give us some type of more clear information that we can say all of these bodies that are popping up out of nowhere, they're so not connected. There's nothing to fear. It's just very isolated cases, right? But because that has not been done, that's why, we bringing aware to it, right? Former Washington, D.C. homicide detective Ted Williams said he thinks detectives aren't ruling anything out. The investigators who are conducting this investigation are not ruling anything whatsoever at this stage of the investigation. They are primarily at the preliminary stages of gathering evidence at each one of these death scenes to try to establish a nexus between those scenes and a single individual or individuals. That's what it looks like, but like I said, it's already been too long for there to be no precise information, no review of cameras and say, this person looks suspicious are in town, right? This car was spotted, near the riverbank before Paige's body was discovered, or before she was seen in Wilton or something. Anything like this, right? So the detective from Washington says some of these deaths may very well be not a crime situation. They're trying to make a connection, and the information that they providing the public is information that they believe the public more or less may need. I understand that too. So, you also always have to remember when something like this happens, you have to think about the families, right? So let me tell you guys, when it comes to like I said, that area, like I'm gonna post the videos here in the beginning of the video throughout and like at the end, that area of Wilton where Paige Fanning body was found, which probably was the first case in this thing about the New England serial killer, is, to me, that area is, it's very safe. I have walked there even at nighttime. I never see anything strange, nothing like this. So let me see here. I'm just trying to see what people are saying in the chat. If they caught him today, it would be 5 years into the trial, 2 years in the trial, and 20 years of appeals, and no death penalty since it's New England. That is a ridiculous state of the system, somebody said. Let me just see more. Somebody said, I grew up in Connecticut. People don't understand how small an area that actually is. Even though it's across 3 states, of the 3 states, they are the smallest. Somebody said it's going to be very hard to find a connection between these killings based on what they have so far. Both men and women is various location. I hope they do for the sake of the people living in fear. Somebody said in this article that I just read to you guys, they say this is the first victim they disclosed the cause of death. I'm just trying to see. Okay, not much coming out from the chat. A lot of sarcastic comments in the chat, I guess you can say, from people regarding this article that I just read. But let me just read to you guys. This is kind of like a map that they put in this article, and let me see if you can see it. You see how close? I mean, it looks kind of like you would think, oh yeah, it's still Massachusetts, still, but a long time before you from Connecticut, and like, but they found a body in Framingham, Massachusetts, Plymouth, Taunton, Rhode Island, Foster, Rhode Island, Killingley, Connecticut, Springfield, Massachusetts, Rocky Hill, New Haven, Norwalk, Groton in Connecticut. Like, they need to be on top of this stuff. Like I said, how many they're gonna find, right? I think they should, even though they found her body, I think they should continue the investigation when it comes to when it comes to Paige, because she was like the first one found. And they also say the family had done a GoFundMe for Paige. I don't know if they're still taking donation, but I'll see if I find the link and put it here. You guys know that I do support GoFundMe a lot. But let me know, guys, what you think about all of this. And I'm going to show you the videos. I'm going to show you the videos of Snack Island in Wilton. Let me know what you guys think about this. Hopefully, guys, we don't hear another body found. As of today, May 3rd, already they had found 12 bodies already. And there's some type of secrecy from my perspective from the investigators. They're not releasing cause of death. They're not releasing like any surveillance camera. I think it could be they don't want people to jump to conclusions, or they're still working on the investigation, basically. So let me know, guys, what you think about this, and if any new information comes out, leave it in the comments. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to my channel. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.